Welcome to Metagame Monday, where I take a look at popular team archetype and explain how and why its sets work, how it matches up against the metagame, and how to counteract it. Spoiler warning, this is going to be... I'm not going to upload for a while, since I'm going to college, more at the end of the video. So, let's get into this. This is Lunala team, which... well, I tried to emulate the previous Lunala success in Ultra Series, but... it's kind of hard to replicate without ally-restricted Pokemon like Xerneas or Groudon. But I tried my best on this team, so without any further ado, this Lunala is EV'd. Let me check if microphone is on, yeah. This Lunala is EV'd to survive Life Orb Astral Barrage from Calyrex Shredder, while maximizing the chance to one-shot Incineroar with Meteor Beam, since... spoiler warning, even with max special attack, you don't have 100% chance to one-shot max special defense Incineroar. But with max special attack, you maximize the chance to one-shot these like 143 special defense Incineroar, even a Wolfie's 140 special defense Incineroar has very favorable chance of just getting one-shotted by this Meteor Beam. And this is basically the goal of this Lunala, to just go these Incineroars. Yeah, Meteor Beam is just great, since Incineroar is one of the best counters to Lunala, one of the most reliable ones, and Meteor Beaming it for not only +1 special attack, but a one-shot is just fantastic. Now, since this is not a standard kind of Lunala team, some Lunala teams tend to carry Amogus as an ally instead of the Indeedee, since not too many teams are very well prepared for Trick Room Amogus. All of them almost rely on basically Amogus being kind of the anti-Trick Room option for the opponent, so they can expect opponent won't set up Trick Room and they can deal with it with like Hurricanes from Zapdos and Tornadus. But sometimes if you run a Lunala with Amogus team, you might surprise your opponent by super fast Amogus Sports and Trick Room, and it still does the job well, redirecting stuff like Wicked Blow from Lunala, arguably better than Indeedee, so that's food for thought. If you do not want to have Indeedee, run Psyshock instead of the Expanding Force. It counteracts Xerneas pretty well. Now, of course, Moongeist Beam and Trick Room are bread and butter, since this Lunala, actually, excuse me, this is the better Lunala, because with it you can counteract stuff like Roller Beam as well outside of the Trick Room. So yeah, this is semi-Trick Room team. It doesn't really rely on Trick Room, especially with threats like Indeedee, Mancho, and Stack Deck up rolling out a lot. Entei is fast as well, so this is a semi-Trick Room team, so you might as well want to have some speed on Lunala. And you always outspeed Incineroar outside of the Trick Room here, so that's pretty good. Indeedee is pretty standard, except for the Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is just there to improve my Calyrex Shadow Rider matchup. It's even with these AV to survival, it's just not 100% great matchup. So I added Shadow Ball on Indeedee to do it KO the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Follow Me Helping Hand is just logical to just power up the stack attack as Lunala's and pretty much everyone's power. Follow Me is great, Expanding Force is just great. Psychic Seed alongside with max defense investment allows Indeedee to survive a lot of hits, so that's the reasoning behind that. Mienshao is as standard as it gets. You pretty much every time you want to see Fake Out for momentum, gaining close combat to just deal with Incineroar, White Guard to block Astral Barrage, and Water Spout Knockoff is there again to improve the Calyrex Shadow Rider matchup a little bit. Focus Sash is pretty much mandatory on Mienshao, so is Inner Focus, since it's just such a good ability for any physical attacker. And max speed, max attack, because there is no reason to invest in the bulk since Mienshao is just so frail. Now Stack Attack. Stack Attack is there for one reason, and to counteract Xerneas, and it does that pretty well with Safety Calculus and Body Press. Alright, so but this immediate spread is made so it takes Life Orb Astral Barrage Helping Hand from Calyrex Shadow Rider almost 100% of the time, which is great, so it improves again the Calyrex Shadow Rider matchup while racking up defense boosts against stuff like Xerneas. So basically, if you just get Xerneas, you get defense boost, you can body press the Incineroar and deal some massive damage to it. At the time making of this team, Volcarona was pretty popular on Xerneas team, so Rock Slide was pretty good on Stack Attack, had to deal with that as well. And their Amogus, if they got Pollen Puff, they won't be even able to touch this Stack Attack. And you will be immunized to Spore, Rage Powder. It's just great to have Stack Attack on this team. Dracovish is just kind of my more reliable Incineroar check for Trick Room mode. It's the only really... I mean, Stack Attack has very hard Trick Room Pokemon, but it racks up some important resistances that makes it able to function outside of the Trick Room. But Dracovish is completely reliant on Trick Room. But we got 2 Trick Room setters, so it doesn't really matter. It's your pretty much standard set. Choice Band, Strong Jaw, just able to one-shot almost every Incineroar. Pretty much everything out of Trick Room is just gonna get one-shotted, so keep that in mind. Or 2-hit KO, like Rillaboom, Xerneas, just easily gonna get 2-hit KO, 70% minimum. Vicious Ryan is bread and butter. Psychic Fangs is for Amoonguss. Crunch is for... I actually don't know what's the crunch for. I used to remember that. I think Dragon Rush is better to just hit the dragons. Yeah, hit the... you also hit the Eternatus a bit better. And Rock Slide or Earthquake is the last slot to just have as emergency spread move if you'll need it. And the EV spread is pretty self-explanatory. You want to be absolute minimum speed on Dracovish to underspeed Incineroars. So, and no, Incineroars do not usually run a slow, like minimum speed spread like they did in previous formats. So you can count on underspeeding these Incineroars with this Dracovish. So that's super cool. And last but not least, there it is, Entei. So this is probably going to be explained better by just looking into replays. But basically, it's my matchup against Groudon Cherrim is not that good, and Entei plus Main Shell just crush it, so you can guess why. Sun boosted eruptions with choice specs are just brutal. Inner Focus is still to block Intimidate, Heat Wave is just in case we're gonna get hurt, Overheat is a nice burst move that hits harder than Eruption, and Snarl is just your best dark type move you can have, basically to hit stuff like Calyrex Shadow Rider if the emergency needs to. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You won't run max speed to outspeed through shift. You don't want to just get surging strikes, then it's just gonna get dumb if you do. And yeah, it's just brutal. I believe you kill Groudon with Close Combat plus Eruption, even if they got Cherrim covering for the Groudon special defense. It's just brutal. So yeah, that's the team analysis. Let's get into the replays. Are we on? Alright, not sure when I start recording, but alright, let's look into the Xerneas replay. So, I believe most of the time I try to simulate worst matchup possible. Oh yeah, I got a note here, I believe. My bet is that there is no way they're staying in with Incineroar here. It's just so much, like, usually the Incineroar leading is a great bait for Meteor Beam for Lunala to waste it immediately, and then later in the game Incineroar can annoy it greatly. So usually when you lead it like that, it's just asking to get Meteor Beamed. Usually they won't stay with Incineroar here, unless they are low ladder. They need Amoonguss as the backup anti-Trick Room mode, Xerneas for Xerneas things, since it's there restricted, Llanowar is for Stack Attacker counteraction, and Incineroar is just again to just annoy Stack Attacker and Lunala at the same time. So I don't think they're gonna have Rillaboom in the back usually. I would suggest double expanding forcing here, but well, you're gonna see. I didn't risk anything here. I'm always going with most of the worst case scenarios. I go for a prediction when there is necessary, but for sake of battling myself, it's better to always assume the worst, so it's kind of objective. Alright, Snarl. I try to set up Trick Room here. I make a mistake here by... Oh yeah, I crit here, but it doesn't matter, because we would just switch to Stack Attack and set up Trick Room and just win the game from then on. No, seriously, that line race is just screwed. With that much of a low HP, Rock Slide will actually give me defense boost, which then allows me to go Incineroar. And Jaraball just does massive damage to Xerneas anyways. Again, going for the worst case scenario. Flare Blitz knocks out Incineroar, and yeah, we still have Dracovish and Psychic Terrain in the back, which is just... Yeah, that was just one. The moment we chipped away at that liners, so that crit probably did not matter. Eternatus matchup, let's look into that. I think this one, I thought it's going to be easy, but it was much harder than I thought it would be. But yeah, a little bit Main Shell, I'd assume... Yeah, I'm not sure. I usually have a lot of defensive Incineroar EV spread, so Close Combat would not go here. Yeah. But I don't think it matters. Usually Meteor Beam just one-shots any Incineroar. Not a lot of them carry max special defense investment. Running more defensive Incineroar EV spreads is good for the counteraction of Surging Strikes and Zacians, Close Combats and stuff like that. So Oh yeah, this is just expanding force, and just don't care about that. I believe I make a mistake here. Oh yeah, helping it was definitely a wrong play. Yeah, expanding force was the right play here. Just to knock out the Urshifu. Look how bulky the indeed he is. Beautiful max defense investment. Right, I might just go fast right here. This is gonna be, yeah, Psychic Fang scares that. That's easy. Hyper fast, because, yeah, main show. Yeah. This is Miracle Seed. This is why the Grassy Glide killed Lunala, by the way, because it was Miracle Seed. Alright, so that's this matchup. Alright, this is what Entei is for, to just annoy this matchup. So I assume the worst case scenario is gonna happen, and that is Lanner's Urshifu lead for some reason. Again, to just counteract the Entei as hard as he can. Now, usually I would say the Entei is public enemy number 1. It's annoying for the Zacian, so I highly doubt the opponent would double up the Indeed here, as that could be catastrophical. In team sheet format, they will know that Eruption will probably just simply kill Xerneas, so they won't be able to risk it, honestly. Knockoff is good for helping a knockoff, just showing the true power here, as it just scares the Xerneas. Zacian is kind of annoying here, but can go suck a lemon. Heatwave would just double knockout here, and they got nothing in the back that can actually counteract Entei properly. Usually it's going to be Incineroar or Rillaboom in the back, just to counteract the Lunala Trick Remote a little bit better. If they would attack the main Chow, it would change nothing. Double Heatwave would just still come out, and there's nothing they can do about it. As you can see, Sacred Sword plus Grassy Glide does not knock out, so it's fine. That matchup was easy, thanks to the Entei 3-specs shenanigans. Alright, the matchup we all waited for, so yeah. Calyrex Shredder plus Indeedee being annoying. Alrighty. I believe the best turn 1 play Calyrex can do here is just helping an Astral Barrage and hopes that attack faints. There's no way they go for Follow Me here. They just need that power immediately. And this is the chance for Indeedee to go for Shadow Ball. Rock Slide will finish off Calyrex, perfect. And the Dracoish in the back already kind of won, so... yeah, I don't know, yeah, Dracoish, hello. White Guard, I go for a bad play here and go for Expanding Force. Yeah, but next turn, we can just go for Vicious Run in the Indeedee. Regardless of Follow Me, we will just pick that knockout up, because Strong Jaw, it's still 85 base power, and Shadow Ball just for good measure. And we are speedy Indeedee with Dracoish, which is good as well. And yeah, there is no chance they can actually counteract Follow Me plus Dracoish here, so... yeah, it's usually how it's gonna come down to against Calyrex Shadow Rider. Alright, the Groudon matchup is gonna be funny, as you're gonna see. Because we're just gonna massacre them with these Specs Entei. Churn Groudon combo, regardless of what they lead, this is probably their best bet. Yeah, we actually go for a throw here. We should have probably CC'd the Groudon here. Oh wait, that's the next turn, I'm supposed to say that. And remember to replay faintly. Alright. Yeah, Eruption plus Close Combat would have just been a fantastic move here. We would have just scared the Groudon and that would just be make it pretty much over. Dragon Darts hurts like crazy, but Dragapult would not be able to switch into Eruption, especially when looking at this damage. So yeah, Lunala comes in, Entei is annoying though. Stomping Tantrum tries to knock out Entei, Phantom Force. Yeah, but we're gonna knock out the Entei here. They could have gone for Crunch plus Dragon Darts, but I don't believe that would KO Lunala. And yeah, we still got Indeedee in the back, easily able to just knock out the Dragapult, so... Hyper fast, let's look into this. Yeah, Phantom Force actually KOs, but it's a 2-turn move, so it sucks. Alright, so that's this matchup. And last but not least, the Santis Tornogre. So let's look into this. Music is still going, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, basically this combo was supposed to the Xerneas was supposed to taunt the Trick Room setters, but we got Resurrection Indeedee, which allows it, which tanks every single hit the team has, even Lash Out from Weavile. So that's pretty good. Trick Room is being set up. Rillaboom is their best bet to try to counteract this double Expanding Force combo. Yeah, but Kyogre is Choice Scoffin and we know that, so they just... Water Spout is just gonna get weaker and weaker. knockoff. I don't know if they got knockoff or not. We're just gonna knock out a Kyogre. Yeah, they got knockoff if I recall correctly. Oh, do we actually know if they got knockoff? Well, anyways, it doesn't really matter in this situation. We're gonna double up Weavile, so it's not annoying. I believe the knockoff should just scale the Lunala here. Yeah, good. Weavile is just gonna get knocked out. Yeah, Lunala faints. But it doesn't really matter. We're just way too ahead at this point. Xerneas cannot even protect. Grassy Glide doesn't even do that much damage. Can't even 2-hit KO Dracovish. And Gerbil can cleanly 2-hit KO Rillaboom. And yeah, Stack Attack just kind of walls out the late game pretty easily. Yeah. GG. And that's for the matchup. So let's look into the counteractions. So one of the best counteractions for this is to just bait the Lunala to go for Meteor Beam turn 1 and then just switch out Incineroar turn 1. Then come back later with Snarls to just annoy the expanding for the spam. Or run Safety Goggles so you are not annoyed by the Mungus that's possible on their team. You can run Darkest Lariat as well. So if you for example went for Isoment, next time Darkest Lariat will just simply KO the Lunala and you will underspeed it, guaranteed, because Lunala is just way too fast. And Incineroar is way too slow, so yeah, that's usually the game plan against this. You can fake out, it's just annoying for them. And the Stack Attack can really one-shot you with a body press, it does like 60% I believe. And you could go for something like Will-O-Wisp as your filler move, so that's also like why to beat Stack Attack if that's annoying for you. That's something for Xerneas teams, for example, Safety Goggles plus Will-O-Wisp. After the Trick Room ends, the Urshifu is immensely annoying. Wicked Blow actually simply KOs Lunala through the Shadow Shield. Close Combat greatly annoys the Incineroar if they got one. Stack Attack if they got one, which they usually do. The Resurrector is also annoyed by Wicked Blow. It's just great. Although it must vary of main shell. But main shell usually leads. It's very probably not in the back. So it's if you get main shell early on, Urshifu can wreak havoc in late game. Then you got Time Wasters. Time Wasting the Trick Room is one of the best options you got. Then you come in with your Restricted, that's Power of All Might and Powerful like Zacian, and you can just win the games. Knockoff is pretty good on Rillaboom. If you are one of these people, you can run Snarl on Rillaboom as well. Superpower is good for Stack Attack if that's a problem. Hardest Power, cycling Fake Outs with Incineroar and Mr. Time Waster is just going to be fantastic for your counteractions. So yeah, that's usually it. But Knockoff is pretty much mandatory to just annoy the Lunala. Oh yeah, and don't run speed on Rillaboom, so you can underspeed most of the Lunalas on the Trick Room and knock them off before they can even, for example, use Meteor Beam. So that's something to help the Incineroar out. And Time Waster number 2, probably one of the most annoying Pokemon possible for this team is Suicune, as they usually, the Lunala team, won't be able to hit it super effectively, and that's just... Whew, Suicune is already bulky, you really need to hit it with Rillaboom or Liking, but the team doesn't have it, and when it doesn't have it, Suicune will reap the benefits. Snarling them to oblivion, scolding their third types, scolding their main shell probably for 2-hit KO even, because close combat is just so probable. And you're immunized to a Fake Out, so that's fantastic. You can tell them if they don't want to set up Trick Room. And you got like Isoman to chip them away. You can run Safety Goggles on this as well if you're annoyed by the Amoonguss, which is probably their best bet against the Suicune, but if you Snarl them, not even Grass Knot is gonna bail them out. So Suicune is a pretty good sleeper pick right now, and it does other things like annoy the Tornogre after Serena faints. It annoys Calyrex Shedrider greatly as well, so I highly recommend running Suicune, and Mr. GX, my best friend, would wholeheartedly agree with me. So yeah, that's that. Now, for the channel update, yeah, I'm going to college. It was inevitable. So with that, I might not upload much VGC. I'm not sure even what's happening to VGC right now. Because like there are no events. They are organizing some Players Cup for the Asia, but like apart from that, no news really. Making me think that they thought the events are going to come back, the RL events, after the 25th Invitational Tournament, but the COVID just came back stronger than ever. And now they're kind of stuck with limbo, nothing planned for the future, and they just can't really... don't do anything, and I'm kind of losing motivation to play competitively, and I'm just like more leaning towards just messing around with Shedinja and stuff like that. So you might see me doing that in the future in these videos. I might just screw around a little bit more unless events are going to come back. If there's going to be new rule set, I'm going to make like a bunch of videos at the start of it. But then I'm probably going to take like maybe a few weeks breaks between Metagame Mondays. After all, there are usually not that many teams to talk about, and college will take time, so I'm probably going to be just taking breaks between these Metagame Mondays. Maybe not even uploading them on Mondays, based on like what's going to be my, I'm not sure how to say it. It's going to be my timetable based on in the school. So yeah, I got some other problems with my scoliosis lately as well. That's kind of hurting. So, but I won't put that weight on you. It's just a nagging pain. Yeah. So basically, that's for the channel update. Hopefully, you learned something new today, and I'll catch you next time in next Metagame Monday, whenever it's going to be that though. I have no idea, so I'll catch you next time.